Welcome back to another video, you guys. A long-awaited one at that. So it's definitely been quite some time, about 5 months since my last upload. Fast forward to today, and pretty much everything is on, including the dress-up hardware, my wheels, and only thing left now is to either paint or wrap, which we're gonna get into that in a little bit. I literally have to lift my car up almost 3 inches just to get my jack underneath. It's pretty crazy. Alright you guys, so as I dive into this, I'm gonna go over kind of where we last left off. In the last video, I installed all the panels and everything went super smooth, everything fit correctly, which is awesome. And I did use self-tappers just to get everything started. And then from there, obviously I still had my old wheels, and my old wheels were some BBS reps that I had, and obviously those were not gonna work. A lot of people are like, oh, are you gonna run fast spacers? And obviously that wasn't the main goal. I went ahead and got some, if you can tell right here, got some Weds Crans wheels. I did have somebody help me out on, I think it was Instagram. Unfortunately, the specs, he had a GTST as well. And unfortunately, the specs that he gave me, I requested those from VR Wheels. And that's what they made the Weds Crans that I have here. They made a custom setup for me. And unfortunately, I still needed to run like a 25mm spacer in the rear and about 25mm spacer in the front as well. So it was off. It might have been his setup. It wasn't as aggressive as what I wanted. So I am running 25mm spacers until I can figure out if I'm gonna rebarrel these or find a setup that is close to the specs that I need, which I think is gonna be super impossible because these are pretty aggressive. So a lot of people were asking on Instagram, you know, what wheel setup, why I went with the wheel setup that I went with, why I went with meaty tires instead of you know, like a stretch look. I like the look of the meaty tires on this car. It just makes it look a little more mean and aggressive. It's because the kit is super aggressive. And another reason why I went with a taller sidewall is just because, one, the ride's a lot smoother, and but mainly it's because I wanted to raise the car up a little bit in terms of the actual overall diameter of the tire. Just because on the stock body, if you were to see the stock body on with the panel on, my stock body would literally go about almost 2 inches below this fender line. So meaning my stock body, I had to cut not only the 2 inches to meet my fender, but then I also had to cut about 1.5 inches to 2 inches above this just to, you know, get clearance for the wheel when it travels. So overall, the car, it was already low, and I dropped it another 2 inches from that height. So I literally maxed out my coilovers, And so I needed to get some of it back height-wise, or else I wouldn't clear. It would be too low to drive normally. So if you look at my clearance below, because of that, it's actually doable. If you look, my exhaust is kind of like the lowest part, and even that is pretty low. I don't scrape on much. Maybe some like really tall, speed bumps, but that's about it. As far as rubbing, I have a little bit of rubbing on the plastics, so I had to remove some of the plastics. But other than that, she's pretty good. And just so you can see what I've been working on here, I'm basically welding the second lock nut onto my camber arm, so that way I can extend it, because what's happening is it's not long enough for how low I made this car. I basically slammed the car, and now the camber arms at its longest length, it still cambers in quite a bit negative. So I'm extending it by using the second lock nut. I'm welding it onto the actual center like that, and so I have another about ½ an inch on each side. Alright you guys, so that pretty much sums up this video. Again, thank you so much for the support. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one, but not 4 to 5 months from now. Later.
Remember when I had shark nose?
Yeah.
It was full wrap when I had shark nose. And then I switched to pig nose, and then I switched to Tipex.
Alright guys, so I got a extra GTR seat. Follow this guy Zach, he's my buddy. And I'll put his Instagram on the screen here. But he has a nice S13 here that he's put a whole bunch of OEM parts on it.